There are a lot of important lessons that a reader can learn from reading Lord of the Flies.
The concept of fear is shown throughout the boys' actions. Many of the decisions the boys make, such as making the fire and shelter, as well as how to approach their leadership, wouldn't have happened had they not been afraid of the unknown things on their island.
On the other hand, Jack uses fear and violence in order to gain control. He beat up Wilfred up the castle to show his power.
This connects back to the events that were happening when this book was written, as there are direct connections between the events of the book and World War II, as we addressed in the first video.
A key concept from this novel is that the boys in it need to develop maturity, respect, and responsibility. The way they approached all their decisions and actions, from who is in control and how they got the power, to their daily tasks like hunting and maintaining the fire, was not done well, as they used violence over each other in order to achieve this.
Power should also be given to those who deserve the most, rather than whoever fights their way to being in charge. There were many people who were more deserving for being in charge than Ralph and Jack.
Like Piggy, he had good ideas, and he was looking out for the greater good of the boys so that they'd all survive, and he was good for the Litlums.
Or Simon, he was resourceful.
Another big idea within the Lord of the Flies is that if no one has power, they can't abuse it. Had the power been divided evenly, or had there been no specific person as the leader of the tribe, perhaps some of the issues that occurred in the boys' quest for the power wouldn't have happened.
Another key idea from this novel is that everyone has a dark side.
The leaders Jack and Ralph continually showed throughout the novel that they always assert their power over weaker boys and gain more power by making an example of them, from how they make the decisions to all the group, or how they are in constant power of struggle.
Another takeaway is that those who are stronger tend to pick on and attack those weaker than them. Many of the boys, mainly Jack, pick on Piggy simply because of the things out of his control, like the fact that he has glasses, he has asthma, and his appearance is bad.
Exactly. They constantly made fun of him and thought of him as a lower status than them, and when they went on hunts to build shelter. Eventually, as a group, they used the power to kill him. This novel also shows that everyone has a savage side to them, and under any circumstances, those attributes will become apparent. From less significant events like the constant making fun of Piggy by primarily Jack, to the murders of both Simon and Piggy, unfortunate circumstances tend to bring out the worst, as these boys ended up taking much of every man for themselves approach to survival on the island.
The author in Lord of the Flies is also trying to show how the aspect of evil can be found in everyone. This ties in with the savage side of everyone, but many of the characters in this novel had their evil side come out at some point.
There are many important questions we can ask from reading Lord of the Flies.
Why is evil brought to this world?
Who has power, and why do they have power?
What makes one powerful?
How is one weak?
Why are the strong ones always after the weak ones?
Thank you for listening to our 9 lessons of
Lord of the Flies. Check in with our other videos too.
our other two. Yeah.